Hello and welcome back to this new video. Today I'm flying the Taranis, and as you can probably tell, this video is out a lot sooner than the Models Navy issue video, just because this ship is such a pleasure to fly. I had so much fun flying it, and I got so many good fights really quickly that I'm already done with the video. So yeah, let me quickly go over the fit. And yeah, I just want to point out that this ship was so much fun to fly, especially after the Models Navy issue that really struggled a bit with tank and DPS. It was just great to fly this. As you can see here, I got 9 kill marks on this ship, which is my absolute record for kill marks of the ships of this series so far. So, and I still have another one with 7 kill marks left in station as well, because I barely died in this as well, because it's just great. And if you know which fights you should take, you basically never die. So yeah, let's get to the fit. Of course, I'm flying something stupid, obviously. So I'm not just gonna go all tank armor upper web scram, but I decided to go for a weird shield fit. So yeah, I have 3 neutron blasters. Let me quickly load void to get the idea of the DPS. 333 DPS unheated. 377 with heat. So much fun. It's unbelievably fun to fly almost 400 DPS after the Models Navy with 170. Then of course a scram, shield extender, afterburner, max staff, damage control, and a power core, so it fits, and 2 T1 rigs just to keep it cheap. Of course I have some drones as well, and all kinds of ammo in the cargo hold. What makes this ship so unbelievably powerful is that it gets an overheat speed bonus, so it gets a bonus for overheating prop mods. As you can see, usually you would get, like, if you overheat a ship that goes 1300 meters per second, you would get like 1.6, 1.7, maybe 1.8 with drags. But this thing goes a casual 2100 meters per second when you overheat your afterburner, and all of that with a 49 meter signature radius. So that's just amazing. You can also see it's not too expensive. It's the most expensive thing is the hull, and the rest is just cheap stuff. So even with a cheap fit, this works really well. Again, I want to point out this is not the optimal fit, but since I fly unoptimal fits and weird fits and new fits and, well, off meta fits basically, I'm flying shield extender of course, but usually you would go for something with a web and with that power core, and basically get that fit how it should be, something like this, and of course with hull rigs. So usually I would fly something like this, but that's just a boring fit I fly in every video basically. Like every armor fit is just the same, so I wanted to change it up a bit. So I went for the shield fit, but like this with the web you have even more control, so it's absolutely broken and you're always gonna control people. But yeah, the way I flew it, get that fit again, there we go. It has less range control, but a bit more buffer tank if you need to concentrate less, and you're definitely cap stable, which is good against noting boats. So what you can attack with this is pretty much all destroyers. This ship is particularly good against destroyers, and good against some frigates. Not all frigates. It struggles against frigates that have higher range control, firetails, hookbills, stuff like that. Comets, even rail comets, are rough. Blaster comets I unfortunately did not get one to fight me. They all ran. But it would be a really close brawl against the Brawl Comet. So yeah, I'm not sure who would actually win that. But yeah, that's the fit I used, and definitely a great ship to punch up against destroyers particularly. So yeah, that's it. Quick wheel spin, and let's get into some fights. Enjoy! Alright, right into the first fight. This was a bit of a scuffed fight because I was sliding in on a Cormorant, a Catalyst, and a probe, and I decided to just immediately snipe the probe and then see if I would survive long enough to shoot something else. To be honest, I should have just immediately started shooting the destroyers, but I wanted to take that probe down, 2 volleys down, and now I just started shooting the Cormorant. Because I saw that he was webbing me, and because the Cormorant has more range than a Catalyst, so usually the Cormorant is a better target. But then I noticed, okay, I'm dropping quick here, so I decided to start a landing out and hopefully get out of range. I also offline my shield extender for even smaller signature radius, hopefully make them miss some shots. And I'm just slowly getting away from them. I also dropped my scram from the Cormorant and put it on the Catalyst, keep him away from me. And now I'm barely out of their range and I'm pretty much fine. Which is again the amazing part about the overheat afterburner bonus, because I could just overheat that afterburner and get out of there easily. So yeah, they lost point and I warped off. And I still got a kill, so I was happy. And I did count 2 for round 2. So yeah, just quickly the Prophet. I'm not sure what he was doing. I guess he was just trying to loot off things that other people shot, I don't know. Anyway, I went to dog repair and came back very shortly after that other fight. As you can see, they're still in limited engagement with me, so it was only like 3 minutes until I was back. And luckily for me, the Cormorant did not go to rep in the meantime. I think I could have still killed him, but like this it was easier, because he was actually hull tank fit, which is why his shield is melting so quickly and his hull is going down a lot slower. And yeah, I'm just hitting him into the hull while they already got me out of shields again. So once again, I'm offlining my shield extender, and once again, I'm just burning away from the Catalyst with my heated afterburner to get out of his range. I was thinking here of controlling range on him and starting to shoot him with null a bit. I did do that for a while, but then I noticed that he had good range with his T1 blasters and probably antimatter loaded, so it was too risky to do it with only like 40% hull, and finally I decided to warp off with only the Cormorant kill, and I was happy with that. Next fight against the Talwar. The Talwar is funny because I got 2 fights against Talwars, although usually I never see them around. And this was Vestia's polarized Talwar, and he was doing so much damage that I just immediately decided, nope, I'm not gonna stick around here, so I just decided to warp off. I did do quite a lot to him, but yeah, I didn't want to stick around there with the polarized guns because that's just too much damage, and he rocks amulets with it, so he has a lot of tank. And yeah, next fight again against the Destroyer, this time against the Thrasher, and this is actually one of the easier fights to take. Because the Taranis gets an improved kinetic resistance because it's a Galante T2 ship, and it already has a naturally high explosive resistance in shield. So the standard hail ammo that deals mostly kinetic and explosive damage will not do that much damage to me as other ammo might do. I'm not actually sure which ammo he had loaded, but he was doing quite a lot of damage to me even though I was orbiting him. By the way, that's another advantage of the Taranis. It gets a tracking bonus, so you can orbit stuff and will still hit perfect shots, especially when you have antimatter loaded. I think I am on Void here though, because I do get lots of grazing shots, but it is enough to eventually take him down. And unfortunately the pilot did burn out his guns here at the end. I don't think it would have mattered, but it is kind of unfortunate because it always feels bad to burn out the guns in a fight. So yeah, GF mate, bye bye Thrasher. Grab the loot, grab the pot, ask him in local if he burned his guns. And there's the cannon. No, he was actually using hail. So yeah, it was perfect ammo and it was still kind of close. So yeah, close fight. This next clip is very funny because I was just warping to the sun randomly, see what was happening there. When I landed on this Retribution at 0. So naturally I just started shitting him. And I was kind of nervous because I know those Garista NPCs can do a lot of damage, so I wasn't really sure if what I should do, if I should just keep at range to take him down quicker and hopefully kill him before the NPCs deal a lot to me. I decided to just keep at range here. Then when he got a huge volley in on me, I decided to immediately go back to orbit because there was just so much damage. So I go back into the orbit, but he's already almost dead anyway. So yeah, I take him down, I grab the loot, and I even kill the pot. Before I warp off, that was kind of risky, should have worked earlier. But I know I have a damage control, and the Taranis has natural high hull resistances and natural high hull HP as well. So I knew, okay, I can wait here for a bit longer, grab the loot before I warp off, because the NPCs will not tackle me. So yeah, great Retribution fit, but I'm glad I managed to tackle him and take him down. And there was also the only kiter I caught. That any kiters you catch are easy kills, because yeah, you're not gonna struggle a lot with them. And thanks to your high speed, you will pretty much always be able to catch them. So I don't have any more example fights, but that's definitely something you should do when you see kiters and they are willing to slide in on you. You can always take them. Okay, next clip against Firetail. Unfortunately, he was double web RT fit. So I do get close here at the beginning, get a few good shots on him, but since I don't have a web, I can't keep up with him even with the heated afterburner. So yeah, now it's just trying to get away from him. So yeah, you can see me starting a line out here. And he did lose webs, but he managed to hit his scram in time. So he tackled me again, and he webbed me again as well here. So now I can just try to do some damage avoiding. I also switched ammo, see if I can shoot him a bit with null. Or from my shield extender, forget to switch ammo. I was kind of in panic mode here because I knew, okay, I'm not gonna escape here, unfortunately. Yeah, you just get those perfect huge RT hits in, that really hurts. So yeah, 2 more volleys and I die. So yeah, don't take on ships that have better range control than you. That's definitely the biggest lesson for this ship. Okay, next fight. I immediately disregard everything I just said and started on the Cormorant ship. That's a smart idea. Not really. But I was bored and I decided I'm gonna give it a shot. Because I have a tracking bonus and he doesn't, so maybe if he's blaster fit I can orbit him 500 and he won't hit me. Not sure. Luckily for me, he was actually Regan fit. So as soon as I get a scram on him, I'm pretty much in the safe. Now I just need to orbit him 500, take him down, and you can see I'm hitting him quite well, but he is not hitting me that well. Although I was surprised, even though he had railguns, he hit me surprisingly well. So it was still kind of a close fight. And this definitely proved to me, don't take on blaster destroyers, like blaster navy destroyers, like the Corm Navy with blasters and the Catalyst Navy with blasters. Because if he even dealt that much damage with railguns to me, blasters are gonna hurt like hell. So yeah, definitely not a target you should take. But I got lucky here, and he was rail fit, so I could take him down. So yeah, GF, Cormorant Navy HQ. Got the loot, and the pot, and there's the Kelme. He did have maximum shacking ammo and an afterburner and a web, so he did have everything to track me, but yeah, it was not quite enough at the end. Next fight, this is on 200% speed, because this fight took quite some time. I slid in on this Thorax and he was Raygun kite fit, but I decided to stick around to see if I could defang his drones and maybe slingshot him at some point, because as soon as I can scram him and get under his guns, I'm going to be in a good spot and I can take him down. I did use a bit too much of my heat very early here though. I'm not quite happy when rewatching that fight. I should have conserved more of my afterburner heat, especially since I didn't have nanites, which is another thing I suggest. If you fly this ship, bring nanites, because in a fight like this, I would have liked to be able to deactivate my afterburner and repair some heat damage. He did play that quite well. He put his drones on my drones. He could have recalled his drones more to get my drones to follow his drones and then start shooting my drones, but that would just like defang my drones and still not make that big of a difference. Yeah, still just occupied with the drones, and now a little cut because it took me quite some time to bait him in. And here is finally when I managed to pull off a slingshot. He followed me, and because the cruiser is so slow with turning around, I managed to get in range with my quick afterburner speed before he could start speeding up again from turning around. And I got scram, and I got into that orbit 500. So yeah, now it's just a question about running him down. And yeah, I later talked to that quite a bit on the safe spot. I showed him some stuff with chance matching and how to slingshot and how to avoid slingshots. And I think especially the chance matching will help him a lot, because he already started doing that when we were fighting, but that can make a huge difference. And I think if you had done the correct, like fully 100% chance matching, I would have struggled a lot on tank, and I would have maybe even had to warp off. But yeah, now next time I'm facing him, it might be a lot tougher fight. But yeah, GF made for sure. Now the clip is on normal speed, and I decided to shoot some nice cinematics of the Thorax exploding, because I was pretty confident I would have him at this point. So yeah, I just decided to get some nice shots of the Thorax exploding. And boom, there it goes. I love the explosion effects, but usually I'm not zoomed in enough to actually see them. So that was great, I was able to see it here. So and now just quick loot grabbing. And yeah, there you can see T1 kite rail fit. Pretty much a perfect fit for me to fight, because I'm pretty much a perfect kind for it. Okay, this next fight is also quite interesting. I am fighting this Rifter. Well, basically I'm sitting outside the site and this Rifter came close. And I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I saw that he was going really quickly. So yeah, I was just sitting there waiting for a second, making him think maybe I was AFK. And just try to bait him in a bit too close. Then I saw Warp Disrupt and I thought, wait, is he kite fit? And then I saw Web, and then I realized, okay, he is kite fit, but he's Afterburner barrage autocannon kite fit. So he has 300mm autocannons, and he has barrage loaded for maximum range. So he can kite me at around 12 to 15 kilometers, which is probably not really kiting, but more like web kiting, because with the heated web he can still web me. So what I do here is constant slingshots, fly away from him until he drops web, then I speed towards him with every speed I have in the overheated drop mod, get in, get a few good shots in on him, and then I turn back around as soon as he starts turning around. Like now he starts flying away from me again, I start missing again in a second, and I'm going to start flying away from him again as well, to then make him drop web, and we can do the same maneuver once again. So now he's pretty much out of my range, I turn around, and he got away from me a bit too far, so yeah, he loses web, I can put some range again, and now during the time he is approaching me, my drones are hitting him perfectly, so I do get a little bit more damage on him here. And now I'm just deciding to turn back around in a second and hopefully finish him off with my overheated blasters. So I turn around, go in, get scram again, and overheat my guns for that last little bit of damage. He came very, very close to me here, so I can deal a lot of damage to him. And now I knew, okay, this is all or nothing. I'm gonna overheat my Afterburner one last cycle. Because even if I burn it out now, it's gonna allow me to get the kill. Oh no, wait, actually not yet. He did that whole slingshot maneuver once again. Okay, my bad. So yeah, I fly away again. And now I start overheating my problem. There we go. And I hope that my drones can finish him off. And there he goes, GF. That was a crazy fight. And it definitely got what... Well, the ship was definitely worth its money here because that was so close. And yeah, well done, mate. I respect the attempt to punch up. And yeah, GF, definitely a good fight. There you can also see he had no damage control, which is why I could grind through his health so quickly with my drones. Okay, next fight. This was a one. There was this. Can't talk. This was a fight I was very nervous about. That's what I want to say. Because double Corax is scary, especially because I didn't know if they had webs or not. So yeah, I'm just approaching that first Corax to hopefully grind him down really quickly and then potentially escape from the second one, or grind him down as well. But at the rate I am melting, I know, okay, I can't stay really close here, so I'm gonna have to pull some range. Overheat my Afterburner, immediately pull range. But the nice thing is, at the start I wasn't moving at all, so I have still all the heat left on my Afterburner, which is really a big advantage right now. I fly out of the range of the Corax, thinking about disengaging, but then I decide, no, I came here, I want to finish this, I'm going to turn back around and go in there, deal all the damage I can and hopefully take him down. I also noticed that as soon as I offline my sheet extender and started overheating my Afterburner, he started doing a lot less damage to me. So I decided, okay, if I go in and go full speed, he might not hit me very well. And with that little flying away maneuver and getting back close again, I forced the pilot to load Javelin, because he thought I was going to start kiting. So he is on Javelin now, which hits better, but has less damage. So in the end, I'm not sure if Rage would have been better, because that has way less application. So still, he still hits about the same amount of damage as he did with Rage earlier. And it is not quite enough, and in 50% health, I managed to take him down. So it was a great 2v1 fight, and definitely worthy of a GF in local. Nice fight, mate. There we go, both kill mails. Very tanky, but luckily no damage control, so I managed to take him down rather quickly. Next fight, luckily against quite new players, because I'm sliding in on a Caracal and a Catalyst. I was ready for a suicide run here, but I was kinda hoping that the Caracal might be heavy assault missile fit, which would give me a chance. So I'm just gonna go in and face brawl that Catalyst, which is not something you should do. But luckily for me, thanks to my good resistances and the quite high buffer tank, I can just face tank the Catalyst here, and I managed to take him down before he can deal more damage to me. And now, once again, just going with that overheated Afterburner, and immediately you can see the attacks from the Caracal going into 1-digit numbers. So yeah, he's barely hitting me anymore. Now I was actually thinking, okay, do I turn back around? Do I go for the Caracal? Do I see if I can take him down with the last bit of health that I have left? but he decided against it, and eventually he warped off before I could regen some shields. And yeah, great fight, you guys. Next clip, against another Talwar, which is the second Talwar I was saying. Immediately just ram him, get that scram on him, in case he's rocking an MWD. And this is more of a traditional Talwar fit. Still not the most common, because I think the most common is probably the light missile kite fit, or snipe fit rather. But yeah, this is a brawl fit, quite nice fit actually, with armor tank and hull rigs. And yeah, it's just a DPS race at this point, because I'm just gonna approach him. I do start to orbit here now, to hopefully make his missiles hit a bit less, but in hindsight I should have probably just approached, because his missiles are not hitting me much worse now that I'm orbiting. Mostly thanks to that web he has, but yeah, I do win the DPS race and I take him down, so yeah, GF mate. And luckily for me, he was also shooting Scourge Rage, which is right into my highest resistance, so yeah, that was great for me. And yeah, that's all the fights I had already. It was quite a fun ship to fly, I really enjoyed it, and that's definitely a ship I'm gonna come back to after the series or then, or maybe even in the middle of it, because I have quite a few of them left spread around where I didn't lose them. And yeah, it's definitely one of the ships I enjoy flying most out of the ones that I already did. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. And I think for the rest, I'm just gonna wish you a nice day, and maybe see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.